Welcome to another episode of Wrinkles in the Crease, where we take a look at the stories in hockey and iron out the details. I'm your host, Zachary Morgan. I have with me, as always, my co-host, the less than real deal, Trevor Neal, who is currently lip-syncing my intro. Trevor, what is going on?
I always lip sync your intro.
Yes, I do.
Every episode.
I know, but this is the first time I've chosen to call it out.
Thank you. I'm glad I got the recognition. Yeah, I'm all good.
Oh, good.
Excited to record.
And we've also got the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, he's here. He's buff. It's Lindy Buff, a.k.a. Andrew Tortoriello. Andrew,
thank you.
What is going on,
I appreciate that. Nothing really.
You cut your hair off.
I've shaved my head. Yeah, I shaved
Cut your
my
hair
head.
off. He cut his hair off.
Scary. Is that in response to anything, or just felt like time?
I actually didn't cut it off at all. I was watching the Devils play, and I was so stressed out that they're doing badly that it fell off. A buzzer didn't even come close. And by doing badly, I mean allowed one goal.
They're 5-2-1. So clearly the Devils
all
off to a bad start. Yes,
they are, but they do this thing. They did it last time too, where you know how they lead the league in comeback wins?
It's kind of their thing, yeah.
They always manage to go down first. So the whole game is an uphill battle. That's why
you don't like
it's a fun watch.
Stressed watching hockey.
No. If I had my way, it would be
and there's
5-0 game every game.
Yeah, you see, and there's the problem. The Devils only play hockey that will stress you out and make you question every fiber of your being, no matter how good they are. That's what they do.
Y'all have no idea how hard I have it.
Using last year. But it is what it is.
You guys have it easy.
The Devils are off to a decent start now. We just have expectations.
Yeah, I'm just joshing. I'm actually overall pretty happy with the opening 10 we've had so far.
Should be
9.
9 after last night. I mean, it's hard not to be. Jack Hughes is doing great things.
Superstar.
8.
But unfortunately, our focus to start is it can't be on the Devils and Jack Hughes. We do have to talk about the big obvious elephant in the room, the Adam Johnson incident. First and foremost, before we even go into this any further, our condolences to the family of Adam Johnson. This is hard. This is awful. There's no other.
This one hits hard. Hits hard.
It's never easy. It's never easy, and there's nothing I can say. I'm struggling to find words right now, but there's really nothing I can say. Someone lost their child. I think it's.
Someone lost a child. Someone lost their best friend. Someone lost a teammate.
John Marino
in
lost
an instant.
A teammate. Like, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. A lot of the Penguins that are playing right now against Anaheim grew up playing with this guy.
Yeah.
So.
But
to
get
it's
into
sad.
It's incredibly sad. So for those who are somehow unaware, if you're listening to our podcast and you don't know, please emerge from the rock that I try to hide under for a good majority of the time. Adam Johnson was playing a game. It was a Challenge Cup game between the Sheffield Steelers and the Nottingham Pirates. That does not matter. A freak play happened, and an errant skate contacted his neck, at which point game ended, fans told to leave, and they began to do what they could to try and save Adam's life. Unfortunately, they were unsuccessful, and he passed away later on in the hospital.
Truly horrific.
Truly horrific. I can't stress this enough. A truly horrific freak accident that resulted in a death, quite frankly, that didn't need to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it is a freak accident, but I was looking at it, it seemed preventable.
Yes. And there are a few different ways it could have been preventable. But first and foremost, what has been made clear time and time again by, I don't know, experts, what have you, if Adam Johnson's life would have been saved if he had some form of neck protection on, it is very likely that could be the case. There was
if he has a 10% higher chance of surviving that by wearing neck protection, we should all be wearing it.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth it.
It's if it makes you a fraction safer, like if it gives us the opportunity to save one life.
Have you guys ever played with neck guards?
Yes.
I've not.
Yes.
Yeah, I
not,
did too.
not since I was a child.
Oh,
I
think I played I think I stopped playing neck guards when I was 15. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's about right on my case.
I knew
it's
I knew a few
interesting to
guys who
me.
played up into like bantam.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me how we have so many safety protocols with hockey, and neck guards is not one of them.
It's funny. It seems as though the professional leagues are always the last to kind of adopt these mandatory safety regulations. You saw it with helmets and visors. So it's not surprising that they aren't mandatory, especially when you consider the fact that up until a few years ago, really, apparently current neck protectors, the turtleneck style neck protector, is not nearly as bulky as the neck protectors you and I grew up with, Andrew.
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
Look, and here's the thing is, if we make the shift towards more people wearing them, which I really hope comes out of this, is that people take the cut-proof equipment more seriously, is the technology behind it is going to improve and make it easier to wear and lighter.
Absolutely,
That's the biggest complaint against it, is that because the English Hockey Association made it mandatory today. Or not mandatory today. There's going to be
They ruled that it will be mandatory coming into effect in 2024. So
yep. Until then, it's a heavy recommendation.
Yes.
They even said that they were going to make a requirement, but they expect supply issues because of this incident, which is a smart thing to consider.
I can only
it's
imagine
almost
the
like
amount of
everyone's
going to
be
neck protectors.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
If
I was playing hockey when this article came out, my mom would have bought me 5 neck protectors just in case the first 4 got cut.
Yep.
Like no joke.
I would have started wearing one immediately.
My mom would have.
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. I can't even imagine. Like my parents would have read this article and freaked out. I can't even.
Yep, that would have been.
This honestly is this is a nightmare scenario. Truthfully,
exactly. It is the worst possible scenario that can play out on the ice, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Trevor, I'm sorry to cut you off, please.
Look, I played for a while, and I got hurt a lot of times and some pretty nasty ones, a lot of head injuries. No injury freaked me out except the blade. That is the only one that never left my head. Freaked me out every time I got on the ice.
The Clint Malarchuk video will always forever run.
It haunts you.
It haunts you. And it's a video that I don't think should be as easily available to view as it is. But since Clint Malarchuk survived
and continued playing hockey,
that video is somehow allowed to be circulated. But yeah, this one, it's always different. It's very different when you know someone ends up being okay from the issue, and when someone ends up not even being close to okay from the issue, it's very different.
When they're okay, like the Malarchuk video is highlighting the dangers of hockey.
Yes.
And some of the stuff that we agree to every time we get on the ice. The Adam Johnson video, which should not be watched. I regret watching it. I don't think anyone should be watching it. That's a human life being lost. But that's a wake-up call to change.
Yeah,
I think there's a difference.
That image is going to haunt my mind for a very, very long time.
It's going to be hard watching a hockey game now.
It's going to be hard for me to play. You think I'm very super? No, I'm going to go to like a free skating session before I even think about playing hockey again. I mean, it's been a few months since I've skated. I am terrified because I don't know if you guys know this. There's no pretty way to fall in hockey. There is no pretty way to fall.
I've fallen with someone before and a skate came close to my face area and that freaked me out. Really. And I still remember it. You see one blade come up and it freaks you out.
Skate 2 face cage is a real thing that has happened, and it is jarring to say the least. When I sit there, when I say I've had a skate hit a full cage and I've had a puck hit a full cage, I'll take the puck any day. I'll take the puck any day.
Absolutely.
Okay, you break a few teeth, you break a jaw, you're fine. There's going to be a little bit of blood, you're fine. But a skate...
And keep in mind, I was a child, so thank God for full cage in both incidents, because I don't know if I would have survived a cut to my face. I'm working with what I got here, man. Like I can only do so much.
Yeah, yeah, you can't sacrifice more.
Yes, but joking aside, additionally, you have to think about like now I want to. What's the best way for me to fall where I'm not going to hurt anyone? Because I'm an awkward
Yeah.
man. I take chances. Ice is slippery. I will fall awkwardly, and it's
Mhm.
just that's what's terrifying to me. The other player involved, I I mean, I almost don't want to give out his name, even though it's readily available, just because of the
He's
amount
gotten
of
so much hate, and for
the. All I'm going to say is the other player involved has had to set their social media accounts to private amid, among many other things, accusations that this was intentional. And there are people out there who are calling
insane.
for this man to be arrested for second-degree murder and manslaughter, which gives you the idea of where these people are based. Because if they had common sense or logic, they would know that England has different rules and they can't just
Yeah,
can't just charge him the American way.
charge them the American way. Very good, Trevor. But
Yeah, yeah.
it's very tough. There's no way for anyone to sit here and tell me they played hockey and have that be intentional. You and I are going to have to go to the gym because you're going to have to explain to me how you can have that much body control and mental awareness while you are
Yeah,
falling like that.
that
You
would
have
be
to
At that
train that
speed,
at
at
that
that you
speed.
have to like
There
sit
is
there
no-
training to do that exact movement.
I really can't conceive of a way in my brain where that would be intentional. I just there's no
And I can't see. I don't care, like, because there are dirty players in hockey. There's always going to be dirty players in hockey. But that's not a dirty play.
No.
That's just attempted murder if you do that. Like that's
yeah,
not.
there's no
Yeah,
yeah, there's
You're
no,
not doing a dirty play. That's not even intent to injure. That is just you're trying to kill somebody. Like there was I forget the full story, Zach. You might remember better than me, but there's a player in the IIHF that got like a lifetime suspension for going over the boards and making a kicking motion at someone. He did it purposely.
Oh,
Do you remember this?
this was a few years ago, right? This
Mhm.
wasn't.
Yeah.
This was fairly recent.
Yes, a player, I believe, was a lifetime suspension. For
Oh
doing that
yeah.
thing.
Okay. Okay. If I'm remembering correctly, I just had to look this up. Was it? No, this is something else. No, this is
But
something.
a player in, I forget, it may have been coming over the bench. I don't know the exact, but he made a kicking motion towards a player, and everyone went, "That's not hockey. That's not a dirty play. That's
Wait, so what?
you
He
don't
Yeah,
made
do
a
that."
body change?
I remember the play specifically.
I
Like
think so.
this dude tried to stomp someone with his skate. If
Well,
I'm
there was another
recalling,
guy pretty recently that there was
that's
like a puck battle, and he
He stepped
like
on someone's skate boot, right? Yeah.
yeah.
But here's the
Yeah.
difference: is you're stepping on someone's skate boot.
no, it's
Now,
not. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not much different. You're attempting to. It's not as severe, but you're attempting
it's
to
not
injure
severe,
someone like that could
which
in
has
a
no place
serious
in the
manner.
sport.
There is no place in the
Yeah.
sport. You have literal knives on the bottom of your feet that are meant to carve up the ice. Well, not really carve up the ice the way
That are sharpened every 20 minutes.
sharpened every 20 minutes.
they're-
And yes, they're not. They don't. Again, they don't carve up the ice. I know.
Is that true?
The metal runners melt the
They
the top
sharpen
layer
them
of
every
ice
period.
every period.
Mhm.
Some guys get
A lot
some
of
guys
guys
get
get
to
them
the point with the
sharpened
current
every.
technology. They get their blades replaced every period. And
That
Some
is-
guys do
that
it
is
during the
insane.
period.
I got
Yeah.
mine sharpened 2 years ago.
Okay, that's a
I
talk we're gonna
spent-
have later.
Yeah,
so for the
Anyway,
pickup rule,
sorry.
just add in a little bit of light tetanus to the risk there, just light, because he's not the only
Yeah.
one who I've seen some very rusted skate blades in my pickup days for
Yeah.
sure.
But like, look, I don't see how that's not something you don't go, "Oh, I hope I get hit," do a flip and kick him in the neck. That's not something you go and do.
This isn't
Yeah.
Mortal
Right.
Kombat.
Yeah,
We're not trying.
No,
We're not trying to
He
invent
didn't
new
do a
fatalities.
combo move. Like, look, it was a very awkward play.
Very.
It was a really, really awkward play in which a skate came. Okay, here's the way to look at it. Zach and Andrew, who cut Clint Malarchuk?
I have no clue.
Exactly, because it doesn't matter.
I expected to be asked that is not one I'm prepared for.
Exactly, it doesn't matter. It's a hockey. It's as much as it's not. It's something that can happen. It's not something that you do. It's a freak accident. There's no other way to put it. Clint Malarchuk was a freak accident when this happened to Ilya Mikheyev of the Leafs a few years ago when he got cut in the wrist. That's a freak accident. It happened to Evander Kane, I believe. He got sliced above the leg.
He did.
He
did.
Yeah.
Taylor Hall took a skate to the face before a game.
And he ruined the bucket. He ruined the helmet rolling warm-ups. But it's
he did wear
they
the
have to wear helmets and it's a risk that happens when you play hockey. There's nothing intentional behind this. And the fact that I've seen people try to make it a race thing. I don't think we really want to get into it on the show too much, but it's disgusting. Some of the things that people have said. Yes, people have tried to make this a race issue.
People have tried to make this a thing because Matt, player in question is, of course, of African American descent. So
I really know nothing.
Well, if the roles were flipped,
if the roles were flipped, that's one of the lines being taken.
The scummy people who don't know what they're talking about, let's be real, are trying to make this an awful thing. Like, honestly, I don't know how that guy went to sleep that night.
I don't think
I wouldn't be able to.
I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't.
I mean,
I would retire on the spot. You would. I would have a hard time even looking at my skates again.
I can do it. I can do it. And you can see, like, if you watch the full video, which don't, he panics and helps a trainer over.
He literally grabs the trainer from his side
and pulls them. And that's not. I'm sorry. You can see the panic in him. You can see the panic in everybody on the ice. You can see the panic, and you can feel it.
What kills me more than anything is that someone really actually believes that a professional hockey player would go into a game with the mindset of, let's really hurt them. Because, there's one thing about wanting to hit someone, get a fight in. These dudes aren't actually
bruises.
These guys aren't going out there and attempted murdering each other. That is not a part of this game.
No. There's so much respect between each team. Because the community of the sport is so small that most hockey players that you see on TV, guess what? They've known each other since they were 8. There's a massive level of respect amongst each other. I assume it's even stronger overseas, because especially in England where there's just less players. They all know each other.
It has to be. And
they all know each other. There's so much respect between each other. If you're looking to go beat someone up in a hockey game, it's let me bruise you and make you uncomfortable tonight. That's the extent of what that realistically is. If you're going out there going, I want this dude to sit for the next 2 weeks, you shouldn't be playing.
Nope.
You shouldn't be playing any sport.
No.
And I cannot believe, there's no way that this was intentional at all. No.
Not even a little bit.
It's heartbreaking, but there's no way that this is done purposely.
That being said, a proper investigation will be done as necessary. The police are still investigating the incident, but they have urged everyone to not jump to conclusions based on that fact. A human being died. You have to investigate.
There's probably a law saying, hey, this person died in a violent manner. There needs to be an investigation.
100%. And that's exactly
rightfully so.
That's what I take when it says don't, go crazy and jump to conclusions.
We have to watch it and go, yep, that's a hockey injury, and that's the extent of what you can get from a legal point of view. But again, like Zach said at the top, our hearts go out to Adam's family. The Penguins organizations obviously hit hard with friends and family of his. The Nottingham Panthers have already set up a GoFundMe to help raise money for the family. There's not a lot of money in the EIHL. So they're trying to gather some funds to help the family out. Because I can guarantee they aren't living in England. So it's a mess, and he's overseas by himself, trying to make his dream come true. And they lost a family member. The Pirates lost a teammate. It's honestly the most heartbreaking story I've seen in hockey since probably Humboldt.
There's no silver lining,
no,
at all.
No,
but I do want to say, if you do want to see, if you would like to remember Adam Johnson fondly, in his career with the Penguins, he did manage to score a goal in the few games that he played, and you can see
it was a beauty.
it was, and you can see on his
It was a
face when
beauty.
he scored that he like the culmination of everything that he worked for. It was realized in that moment. Yeah. So if you would like to remember him fondly, go watch the video. I encourage you to do so, and you'll smile.
If you're gonna share a video, share the Penguins did an extremely touching tribute to his career.
Yeah.
Not only with the Penguins organization, but he was with the Kings and the Flyers as well.
He was the Ontario Reign. He was
and
their
Lehigh Valley
first,
Phantoms.
yes, he was the first star of the
Rain game last night.
Rain game. I think I don't remember if it was last night or the night before. I'm sorry,
but
over the past couple nights,
touching moment from Ontario. But yeah, the Penguins did a very touching video. If you're gonna share something, share that. Share the video of his first goal. Like, let's remember him for the positive. We don't want that image to be the last thing we remember of such an incredible person and a great player, and obviously a great teammate. The Penguins remember him very fondly, even though he only got to less than 10 games with the Penguins. But hey, he got to strap up in the National Hockey League. He got to score a goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And
hockey's a brotherhood. It's a fraternity, and I know there can be negative connotations associated with that sometimes, and especially with the way we see hires happen around the league. But this is one of the positives to that. The community will come together, and we're going to likely see a level of change in the rules for at least minor hockey in regards to protective equipment. That is,
I think it has to.
There has to act. And any parent who pays attention to hockey and has a kid playing, any parent at this point is likely they'll probably, I'm going to say 90%.
Look at this. Look at it to the parents. It's $20, $25. $20-$25 may save you a lot more than the $20.
And there are
really put a price on life of a kid, right?
Yeah, and there are neck protectors out there that look more. They look like a turtleneck. You will look like it's better than nothing. The turtlenecks are not that, from my understanding, not that
bulky.
Yes, so it's at minimum,
and
it's worth looking into at minimum.
If USA Hockey and Hockey Canada doesn't require it, which I think they should, there should be plenty of youth coaches going, if you're playing on my team, you're wearing one.
Yeah.
Because coach has all the power in the world to do that. And I want to see more teams just say, I don't care if they don't require it. You're playing for our organization, you're wearing it. We're not.
For whatever it's worth, the current rules regarding at least USA Hockey and Hockey Canada, they are not mandatory in USA Hockey. They are mandatory in Hockey Canada for minors. What minors being everything below the junior level. So once they get to the CHL, they can remove it. But I do think we will see some change there. Likely from the QMJHL. I feel like they're going to. It's purely speculative.
They're the more forward thinking of the three.
Yeah. The league that just banned fighting, I think, is probably going to be likely to.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the thing: is like, I had this discussion with my dad a little bit ago, and it was, is the NHL going to require it? No, they aren't. But the way to do this is not go to the NHL first. It's to raise the younger generation to get used to wearing that piece of equipment, and to, quite frankly, they don't feel comfortable on the ice without it. Give us 10, 15 years, this is going to be the NHL.
What they did with helmets is what they need to do with neck guards. As crazy as that sounds, they helmets trickled up.
The line
to the
in the
NHL,
sand.
Trickled up to the NHL. They were made mandatory for children, and then as you got older, they did not start with the NHL. That is the reason why.
The future, honestly, it's never going to happen in the NHL. But realistically, everyone should be wearing a neck guard, and everyone should be wearing a full cage. Let's stop playing this game. Okay, full face protection. I get that it's not the masculine, macho thing to do on the ice, but we also thought that about goalies wearing a mask at one point.
You know what I really like having,
I still
Trevor?
think that. Make them take their mask off.
Oh my God.
A real man would play without a mask.
No, fuck that. Let me explain right now.
I'm kidding, obviously.
Do you know what
Never
these
do
are?
that.
These are my real teeth. They are mine.
Mhm.
I still have them.
Real.
Thank you, Full Cage. Thank you, Full Cage.
Thanks for the
I'm already
broken
a dental
cage for
cage.
me
I
hitting
don't
my
need more.
face against the boards. I broke a metal cage that hangs above my desk. I'm really appreciative I had that metal cage that day because my face would not look the same if I didn't. It's just, hey, there's this protective piece of equipment that'll protect you in the most dangerous sport in the world. Wear it. Pretty easy. Wear it. It's might save a life someday. It's
Also, I
people aren't
just
gonna
want
like
to
it at first.
First time I stepped on the ice was to learn to skate. I had everyone, a lot of my friends played hockey. My cousin played hockey. I borrowed a helmet. I wore 3 sweatshirts. I wore snow pants and overalls. I looked ridiculous, but I was safe, and that was what I cared about.
How old were you?
So I think I was like 10, 11. I started pretty late, but the point being, safety is always going to be more important than how you look, especially if you're playing hockey.
Yes.
I may look dumb, but I get to live tomorrow.
I'm safer than you
exactly.
are. That's all that matters.
The smartest guy on the ice is usually the safest one.
Go home and thank your mom for making you wear a jacket on Halloween or like a high visibility vest. Okay.
And, I want to say,
they were watching out for you.
Genuinely, I was watching the Devils Wild game yesterday, and players at the NHL level still make calculated risks like that. Jack Hughes was exiting the zone, and he let one of the Wild players get the puck so that he would not be checked. You should take your safety seriously. It's important.
Pick and choose your battles.
Don't skate with your head down.
Sometimes the business decision is a smart decision.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to wake up tomorrow?
And in Jack Hughes' case, the Devils need him to be on the ice at all points.
Yeah. I mean, if
Nico.
Those games above replacement. Man.
Nico.
Nico will pick it up. Don't worry.
He's being headhunted. I feel so bad for him. Apparently,
they always do that to Nico. Nico always has a target on his back. And what bothers me more than anything is that, quite frankly, Brendan Smith allows it to happen. Because what is Brendan Smith here for if he's going to be ranked 122 out of 127 in terms of whatever ranking system it is? But
that's a great question. He's here for nothing. He's actually bad, and he shouldn't be on the team.
That's not true. He's very good. He had a stick break once during the opening game, and he immediately, upon getting a new stick from the bench, he was streaking towards the net. And I said exactly that. I said, yes, a streaking Brendan Smith. And the fact that I said those words seriously in that order during a hockey game could mean many different things, of course. But
I would more expect it to mean, if you say streaking Brendan Smith, the first thing that goes to my mind is, Brendan Smith is naked on the ice.
Yes.
It is not that he is going towards the goal in any capacity, because he is Brendan Smith.
Look, at least he went to the net.
In my defense,
good things happen.
In my defense of using that exact line, when I say streaking, it was a straight motion. So in that essence, yes, it does mean what you said. And that's partially why I said it. Sure. But I meant it in he just beelined it straight to the net.
Good. He knows where the puck goes in the net. That's good for him. He knows
I know how to get the attention of the people around me.
He could take attention away from someone else. That's a skill.
That
is such an important skill.
If he were streaking in the literal sense, he would have absolutely taken attention away from the.
Don't get the Devils started. They might get some new strategy ideas. Brendan Smith just starts taking off his jersey and just skates.
I swear to God, we're not going directly from the Adam Johnson thing to suggesting that the Devils start playing naked. We're not doing this. That is not happening. Doing that. No. So let's jump right in to the NHL having some egg on its face for reasons. So The NHL had previously decided that Pride tape was bad. They didn't really like Pride tape anymore, so they made it bad. So they banned it.
They said no.
The only
black
problem
or white tape.
The only problem, as Trevor pointed out, what's in the rule book?
The players can use any color tape they wish. That is in the rules.
Yeah.
So when Travis Dermott became the first player to break the mold, break the line, and use Pride tape during a game,
that is one of the most important pieces of tape in the history of the sport. That one piece of tape he put.
Immediately, it was like, well, here's what we've been waiting for. What's going to happen? NHL took a little bit, said they would review and discuss. Ultimately, they rescinded their ban on Pride tape, thereby ending the dumbest, most tone-deaf thing I have heard in a very long time.
Made the NHL look bad, and when does the NHL ever look bad?
That's true. The NHL rarely makes a decision that is bad, but I gotta say they really went against their usual with this one.
I don't know. The various events in recent history that just ran through my mind. My favorite one of showing how great the NHL is of course the horrifying act of violence by Tom Wilson, because that event happened and it was put on national. The next game was going to be on national TV, so it was put on full display that the NHL was doing nothing for Artemi Panarin having his season ended during a. I'm trying to think of the right word here. A scrum that didn't even happen, technically speaking, during gameplay. So, yeah, the NHL does not do a good job of keeping egg off their face, to say the least. At least they didn't let this drag on past one incident.
I suppose.
That's all I got. It was a terrible decision they made from the get-go.
The one player to stand up to the NHL to do if I get fined, I get fined, is a player on a 1-year league minimum 2-way deal. He had everything to lose.
Do you know what my favorite part about that is? The Coyotes had their first Pride night very shortly after, or not their first Pride night, the first Pride night of the NHL season. And obviously the nights are going to be different. That Devils had Hispanic Heritage Night, and it was very different than what it was last year. But Pride Night
was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. It was nice.
It was a great time. Andrew and I were both at the game on Wednesday together. We said hi. It was a good time. Yeah. Regardless,
glad Trevor wasn't there.
I'm sorry. Okay. I was at an NHL game this week.
One day you'll make it out.
One NHL game this week. I will make it.
One day we'll make it out. And now that I've picked up my train of thought again, what happened during that Pride game was 2 players wore the jersey on the way in. No one wore the Pride tape. Travis Dermott was inactive because he was ill.
Oh, no. He'll be back. Travis Dermott's one of the nicest people in the league.
Well, I mean,
he's gonna wear that.
Wait, what? He was a healthy scratch?
No. He was sick.
He was. Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
If he got healthy scratch, everyone should riot.
If he got healthy scratch, that should have been So, to be honest with you, I don't have details on the sickness, but I also did not look into it very much. So,
the Coyotes were supportive of him. There was no healthy scratching there. I don't think anyone's mad at him except like the old guard of the NHL, and screw those guys. They don't matter.
And Gary Bettman probably.
Gary Bettman's like, but what do you mean attention? No one should like us. No one should care about us.
I am glad though that the NHL, like the management of the NHL, did not try to double down and just kind of rolled over.
Yeah,
it would have been a lot worse if they were like, no, Travis McDermott is going into debt because of how much we're going to fine him, and he is also getting suspended. And nobody can be gay. Like if they did something like that, it would be exponentially worse than just.
If they, I have to agree with you, Andrew. If they did exactly what you just said, that would be pretty awful.
But like
even if they
more people, you have to think like Brian Burke is also a really important person in the sport for getting this done.
Oh, you know who I just found out? is I was watching the Heritage Classic last night, and there's this African American, or no, not American. He was Quebecois. What's his name?
Let me look
Did
up
he
the
play hockey?
what team.
Yes, yeah. He played for the Oilers. I think he was this huge black dude.
Oh
has,
God,
like, a
I know
French
exactly what you're
accent.
talking about. The name is slipping my mind, and it shouldn't be slipping my mind.
Did he play for
He played for Montreal too. I can tell you exactly why is this name slipping me.
oh my God.
I think he's
Edmonton?
Quebecois. I don't actually know.
He's Quebecois. He's Quebecois.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about, but I cannot remember his name to save my life. I want to say it's like Georges or something like that, but I know.
Yeah, it is.
I can't find it.
Larocque. Georges Larocque.
Oh,
Georges Larocque. That's what it is. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly.
I was thinking current players. I'm like, I can't.
First of all, he rules.
He's
so cool.
A great guy. They were interviewing him yesterday. He rules. Secondly, he actually dressed up in drag with the help of drag queens and won a drag competition to support LGBTQ people and in like the sport of hockey. And he was literally he's quoted in an article as saying, it's at the time it was 2018, so articles from then, and he says, it's 2018. It's ridiculous that we still have to be arguing about stuff like this. We should just be accepting and open and inclusive. And I think that's awesome. So that makes the sport great.
He's one of the good ones. He's one of the better ambassadors for the sport, to say the least. And I am embarrassed that it took me that long to remember his name. But I will die on the hill that I knew who you were talking about from the moment you said it.
Yes, of course.
Am I wrong for saying that doing things like that does more for hockeyists or everyone than the Pride Nights?
It does.
No, it actually does.
It does. It really does.
The rules.
Because what that does is it appeals. Pride Nights are great for, the people who attend the game and not much more. Like anytime there's a night, maybe the commentators of the game will say, "Oh, and here at Pride Night, blah blah blah." But unless you're there, it's not really an experience. What he did reaches out to not just people who may have been at that event or at a hockey game. It will touch all different circles.
And that story got picked up. Like, I assume the Travis Dermott story got picked up by more outlets than the New Jersey Devils had Pride Night tonight. It gets it out there, and it gets. Yeah. I don't know. I'm so happy Travis Dermott did what he did, and I'm so excited to see what a guy like. I know I bring him up a lot when we talk about Pride in hockey, but Morgan Rielly is such a strong force in the Pride movement in hockey, and when he was still active, Braden Holtby as well were two great guys for this. There's going to be more players there to make more
Travis Dermott this is not his first time doing something in Sport of Pride, I believe.
I'm not
the whole article about.
No, he was hard. Him and Morgan Rielly together were real big on this. Dermott, a former Leaf, and the Leafs are very pro inclusivity in the organization. It shows.
And it was on Friday when he was asked about it. Travis Dermott said, and I quote, I'm reading this off of an ESPN article. I'm not sure if ESPN was the original source. A bunch of thoughts are going through your head, but not one of them was, should I or shouldn't I do this? It was more, how fast is it going to blow up? How much is it going to blow up? Is anyone even going to notice? And then
we did notice, Travis.
It had to be done. I was going to deal with whatever came my way.
Go buy a Travis Dermott jersey.
Even if you don't agree with to have a player who is willing to stand up for his ability to voice his own opinion and literal freedom of speech, like, you have to appreciate that.
Yeah, a sixth or seventh defenseman just went up against the National Hockey League on a controversial topic with them and won. He beat them with a piece of tape. That is an amazing moment.
I'm hoping. I don't know which one is more badass. Him not caring about the consequences, or him calling the bluff of the National Hockey League and just being like, you're not.
Both.
You know what I mean?
He's a hero. Like, I don't mean to be over dramatic in how special this is, but I am in truly awe of what Travis Dermott did.
Yeah.
He like I said earlier, he had everything to lose. You're on a two-way deal. If you do something that pisses everyone off, you're just getting sent down. Okay,
Yeah,
and you're not coming back up. And look, people are gonna go order Travis. Arizona needs to start printing those now.
Yeah, really.
Everyone's gonna be ordering their Travis Dermott jersey. I've already seen people on Twitter posting their custom order because they don't actually make one. You have to get the name printed on there for you if you want a Dermott one, and people will buy them now.
Yes, I'm sure they will. Well,
Travis Dermott.
30% off at fanatics.com in case anyone wants one.
Travis Dermott, the hero that, not the hero we thought we'd see, but the hero we needed.
I have one thing to say to Travis Dermott, and it's Yas King Slay.
Yas
Am I right, guys?
Slay.
I'm ending the episode because that is just no. You yes, you said that correctly,
right,
but it's correct usage, but it's the I hate the way you said
Zach doesn't like it. He thinks
I don't know, but I think he may have served.
I think he served.
I think he's serving. If I had to,
he slayed.
He slayed.
He slayed.
Ate. He's giving.
He ate it up. He ate it up.
He ate and he left no crumbs.
He sure did eat.
Yeah.
Did he eat honey? Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Wrinkles in the Crease. We will see you next time. Please enjoy the week. Again, our thoughts and prayers out to, and condolences out to the family of Adam Johnson.
Yep.